Sometimes I get messages like this one here that it touches me. It touches me because I've seen, it's been 19 years of professional practice this year, 2018, and I've seen people from all walks of life with all kinds of stories. And I see it as a privilege. So this particular one touches my soul, touches my heart, and I want to share it with you. It has to do with homosexuality. And I don't know if you know, but it's not an easy experience to go through homosexuality. Not really. Because I can just imagine when you look at yourself in the mirror and you have a vagina and you love women. You look at yourself in the mirror and you have a penis and you love men. I can just imagine when you're young the confusion you must go through. I have many clients that are homosexual, and these stories, I have many. So the names are not real. I changed the names to protect the personality and the identity. So here we go. Please, I need your help. My name is Joanne, and I would like to know if I am on a twin flame journey. Well, you see, a lot of people talk about soulmate, soul sister, twin flame. But does that really exist? That's the question. We'll come back to it a little later. I'm going to try to explain my life in words. When I reached the age of 17, I became aware that I liked girls, but never found anyone. And I was part of a very conservative family, very difficult situation I was in. I had very few friends, and when I went out, it was only with my siblings and their friends. At the age of 22, I met a friend of my brother. I kind of began to like him, or maybe I was confused. But always under a shadow, keeping my feelings a secret. Feeling very incomplete, we became friends. I accepted him as my boyfriend, and we got married when I was 30. One day, before marriage, okay, so this is before you got married. One day before marriage, I went to church and prayed. I asked for forgiveness. I asked God to calm my feelings and my emotions, but it didn't stop. With the internet, I began to know and speak with girls. That led me to meet one, then another. Lots of flirting, until I met one that I could talk to. She told me she knew a girl I would very much like. I started to talk to her. Her name was Drea. We fell in love, deeply. It was very intense, and I couldn't believe the feelings I was experiencing. Well, I can just imagine. I was so much in love, and I was sure she was the one. This happened in 2009. I was 35 years old. She appeared right when I was beginning to give up my homosexuality and redirect my thinking to have children. None of the girls I had met before meant anything. Drea appeared on a very difficult time in my life. It's like a savior. I decided to tell my husband everything. I wonder what he said. We agreed to have a child and then get a divorce. Okay, so from what I'm understanding, he was okay with this. Drea became devastated with the idea. Suddenly, I didn't know what to do. But I went on with the decision of having a child, even though I was deeply in love with her. Found myself on a crossroads. Very painful, I can imagine. I got pregnant. Surprise, surprise, I had twins at 36. I'm grateful to God, but twins? That is very difficult for me to take care of alone. Drea was living 200 kilometers from me, and that was about a 2.5 hour drive. Needless to say, all was extremely difficult. But Drea didn't leave me. We kept seeing each other. But an on and off relationship. Discussions, arguments, distance, and all the above. In 2015 we broke up and were 5 months apart. After that she accepted me back again. I kept telling her that I would get a divorce, but that was not an easy thing to do. My boys were little and I needed the father nearby. That was the only reason. I had divorce papers, but never got a court date. At 43, my boys were 7. Last August 2017, Drea announced that she had met someone and left me. She instantly blocked me on every social media channel. We didn't even talk about it. I couldn't believe what was happening. I was taken by surprise. It was like a bomb exploded in my face. I was devastated. I cried so much. I felt my heart broken in 1,000 pieces. I don't have any hard feelings or wish her any harm or accuse her of guilt. I am in pain, but I still love her very deeply. I am so sad. Last October, with all the pain, I finally got divorced. I could no longer keep a false marriage and the pain of loss I had for Drea. Ever since we broke up, I began to see 11, 11, 3, 3, 3, 21, 21, repeating numbers. I dreamed of her every night, and I see many, many times my date of birth, July 28th, and hers, December 23rd. At night, oftentimes, 23, 28 hours. And during the day, I see the 23rd and the 28th, 23, 28. I don't know nothing of her. I sent her emails, but never got an answer. My last email was February 2nd, 2018. I can't write anymore. I stopped chasing her. I told her I divorced, but nothing. I'm sorry, Sonja. I don't know why you're calling me Sonja, but it's funny because Sonja, the vowels are 7, the consonants are 7, and that's my numbers, and 7 plus 7 is 14, and that is my karma. Very strange. But anyway, I didn't change the name because that probably means something here. I'm sorry, Sonja, for the long writing. But please help me. I don't know what to do. I pray. I am grateful to God for what I have, and I ask for forgiveness for my mistakes of the past. I wish my husband, my ex-husband, all the joy and love it deserves. And my God, I wish my love, Drea, to come back to me. But tell me, is Drea my twin flame? Why do I keep seeing numbers, dreams, and help me please? We all come into the world to heal. And you writing this message, this letter to me, is already a huge beginning of healing. Trust me. I'm very grateful for your openness, for your trust. Joanne, the name I'm calling you today. What I'm going to tell you is not taught in school. Not yet. But I want you to think about it and listen and re-listen to these words. When I go through the letter you sent, I sense a lot of guilt on your part, on your side. Guilt for being homosexual, guilt because of the mistakes you think you did. And when you talk about God, you talk with a certain fear or disappointment. Disappointment He may have towards you and your decisions. And the guilt you have for being homosexual. You see, you are what you are, and what you are is important, very important, just as I am and everything else. You should honor who you are. Another thing, everything you've done, everything you lived, it was part of your journey, part of your destiny. Embrace it. Never look back at it as wrong. Please don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Everything was what it was, and it served what it served. And if it happened to you, it is because it was part of your plan, part of your mission. You need to understand this, you need to believe this, and you need to feel this in your heart. Because whatever is not meant to be, will never be. If you're not meant to meet someone, you could be in the same airport, just a few steps away from each other, and you'll never see the person. And when you are meant to meet someone, no matter where you live, how far it is, something will happen and you will meet. Okay? So please, whatever happened was meant to happen, and now you are meant to understand why. Why did that happen? See, I see you as much richer than you were before. All the experience you live, and you're still young. You see, no one decides to make another. See, you've got the proof. You wanted a child. So tell me honestly, you wanted twins? Of course not. In reality, it is some kind of a program you have in your mind, in your being, that it is time to answer the call, to answer the contract you have with these souls. I mean, you can have sex 3-4 times a day. You will not get pregnant if you're not supposed to. If you're not supposed to, if you don't have a contract with another soul. Please understand this, meditate on this. No one decides if another soul enters this world or not. Please. I don't have the right to decide to bring another soul into the world. What we don't know, for those who don't, it is I who decides to be here. It is I who chooses my parents. It is I who chooses my body. It is I who chooses my experiences, my place of birth, my intellect, my everything. I'm the sole creator of this. Then you must be thinking, Antonio, so you don't believe in God? You see, I don't believe in God. I know God, but not the God most people think about. See, I will not put a male or female in my God. That's ridiculous. It is like limiting such a powerful existence. I'm not saying a being, because God is not a being. It's a source of energy that feeds all. Whatever you do with God. Whatever you do, it is possible because of that energy. Whatever you do, no matter what, will contribute to the expansion of the source. You are the sole creator of your reality. Never forget this. And if you came to me, something made you come to me. And after all these probably months, maybe 2-3 months you wrote this letter, and just now I'm answering, something told me, answer the lady, and I'm answering you. And all I hope, if I can hope anything here, is for you to find inner peace. Inner peace. Everything was what it was and served what it served. And you will never know the meaning of that, or the totality of that, until you go back home. Because what you're living is a chapter between chapters. So you don't know what you lived before. And what you are going to live next depends on this chapter. So if you die in this lifetime with guilt, feeling of victim, feeling of whatever that goes against light and love, it remains dirty. So you're going to have to come back and clean it and heal it and purify it. The memory. Please see through me. See through me. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Your husband, your ex-husband, had a contract with you. Your twins had a contract with you. Everything you touch and come in contact with has a contract with you. And if you are living in awareness, stop, look and listen. Why is this in my reality? Drea, the name I chose to call her, was a passage in your life. I know that probably, or most probably, this is not what you want to hear. I know that. But you came to me and I'm telling the truth. Do Ho'oponopono with Drea. She was a very important passage in your life. She awakened you, but she has moved on. She has moved on. This is a time of rebirth for you. A time of rebirth. By next month, which is July, your month of birth, you will enter a new chapter of your life. Please don't enter the new with the old in mind, because you will create more of the old and bypass the new. Don't. If you trust me, if you believe me, see, as we're speaking now, this is a rebirth and a new beginning for you. A new beginning for you. So I would strongly suggest you do some cleaning of your past. I'm not saying go and erase your past. Cleaning of the negative memories, negative feelings you may have towards what happened. Look at yourself in the mirror and fall in love with what you see in front of the mirror. You must do that. Because if you don't love yourself, you will never, ever love anything in this world. And everything you think you love, in reality, is a dependence. It's a form of tax. You must avoid that. So, look at yourself in the mirror and develop a relationship with yourself, a love relationship. Honor yourself. You see, you're living a chapter between chapters. How are you supposed to understand the entire book through one chapter alone? How? So, please, remain in this chapter. Live the present moment, step by step, and free yourself from memories, programming that limits you. I call it the four demons: fear, doubt, guilt, and victim. Get rid of them. You are a player in this wonderful game we call life. Don't miss out. Your twins obviously brings you something. Try to understand why they chose you as a mother. Try to understand why you are experiencing and going through the experience of homosexuality. See, nothing really is what it seems. Because in reality, when you look at me, you're not looking at me, you're looking at a body. And this body, scientifically speaking, is carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, and water. Well, everything is made that way on Earth. So whether you're a woman or a man, same substance, with some different forms. But spirit, the one who's talking to you, spirit, the one who's listening to me, is not in this body. So spirit has no sex. So whatever you come equipped with, that is your experience. You see, you're a perfectionist. You're someone who likes to control. You don't even know. You're not even aware. In this lifetime, you came to experience the individuality. You came to experience the creative ego. You came to experience autonomous spirituality. Being yourself. Independent. Autonomous. Self-sufficient. And so on. So whatever happened in your life, it was there to help you attain self-sufficiency. To be you. To be you. So in other words, with me, you are very happy. Without me, you are very happy. So in other words, the happiness you feel cannot come from the outside of you. It has to be inside of you. Nothing of what you wrote is enough for you to feel guilty of anything. You felt deeply in love. Well, you finally accepted your homosexuality. That's how you came. That's the experience you came to experience. Don't deny it. Live it. Enjoy it. Embrace it. Because in the end, all it was an experience that created a memory that made you richer. You told your husband, and he agreed to have a child. You see, he agreed. We don't make kids. We agreed. In other words, he was open to it. In reality, you and him had a call to fulfill the contract. And it happened. Now, you don't go tell me that you, on purpose, went and made two beautiful twin boys. Please, please, please. So he's a fine man because he accepted the situation. And then you say, Drea became devastated with the idea. Well, duh. It's normal. I mean, you are in love with her. She felt in love with you. Or she fell in love with you. And now you're with a man, sleeping with a man, having sex with a man to have kids. It's normal, these feelings and behavior. So she was devastated. So you say. But she didn't leave you. She stayed on. So you got pregnant. Surprise, surprise, twins showed up at the age of 36. You say you're grateful to God. Okay, be grateful to God, but be grateful to yourself too. Because you are doing this experience. God is only an energy. It's like hydro. It's feeding you the energy for you to do whatever experience you want to do. There was a huge distance, 200 kilometers, you say, from Drea. Obviously, that didn't make it easier. That didn't make it easy for you. Needless to say, it was extremely difficult. But Drea didn't leave you. So in 2015, you broke up. See, I hope you understand that you're not the only one going through experiences of this sort. Look, I've been doing this work for 19 years and I've seen so much. Trust me. This is just another experience. I mean, I sympathize with your experience, but I also have my own. And everybody has their own piece of luggage we transport. So she accepted you back. And you kept telling her that you were going to divorce, but you never really got a court date for that. So, August 2017, she announced she met someone else and she left. She's like that. She blocked everything on social media and that was a final goodbye. See, I know you don't want to hear this, but I cannot tell you things just to make you feel good. It doesn't work like that. So you were devastated. It's like a bomb exploding in your face. I totally understand that. I totally understand that. So last October you finally got divorced. You could no longer keep a false marriage. And of course the pain of loss for Drea. So now we're talking in 2017. And you were born the 28th of July. Look, I'm going to draw a clock of 9 numbers. I call it the clock of life. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So here's a clock. See, while you're alive, you are in one of these numbers. When you look at the clock, what do you see? 1 being a new beginning, and 9 the end. Right? There are no other numbers. You were born the 28th of July. 28th of July. Every year you celebrate your birth date on the 28th of July. It never changes. But the year changes. And that happened in 2017. But you are still in 2017 until next month, the 28th, which is July 2018. 8 and 2 is 10. 10 makes 1. 7 remains 7. 2017 makes 1. Okay? 2, 3, 10. 10 makes 1. We add this across, we get what? 9. So you are here. 9. The end. It's the end. So you came to the end of a, how can I put it, part of a chapter. I can even call it a chapter. You came to the end of a passage, a major passage in your life. So all this is closure. And you must reunite all the courage to leave this thing. Leave it behind. You see, it's the old. Leave it behind. So that you make space for the new. See, don't go into the new with your baggage full of the old. So you must absolutely make peace with your past. Find the courage to do it. Write a letter to your past. It may be 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. It doesn't matter. Write a letter to your past. It was what it was. It served what it served. And it made you the way you are today. And look at yourself in the mirror and see something great in front of the mirror. Because you do have some very, very wonderful experience up ahead. If you allow yourself to. So please, let go of the past. Let go and go into the new. Because when you move to 2018, what do you think is going to happen? Now, if 2017 was 1, 2018 is 2, right? 2. And this adds to a 10, which is 1. A new beginning. A new beginning. Embrace it. Open yourself to it. I would strongly suggest you write that letter to your past. Right on top of the page, I, and you write your name, come to wherever, all the people, including Drea, to say how much I love you, how much I thank you for being a part of my life, part of my experience, a part of this wonderful chapter I just wrote. Please forgive me if I've done something more or less than I should have done. Please forgive me. I love you, I thank you, and I love you. I liberate you from the program, from the old program. So I let you go and find a new life, as I am going to find a new life. With an open heart. You're a great person, I hope you know that. You're very spiritual. You're very connected, insightful. You're also a leader, someone who can face things, or a lot of things other people couldn't. So please see that in yourself as I see it in you, okay? So don't forget this, and don't miss out on this. It's a new life for you, okay? So be grateful to God, like you say, but don't ask forgiveness for the mistakes you've done. What mistakes? What tells you that that which you think is a mistake is actually a mistake? How do you know? Am I standing up or upside down? I don't know. This planet is round, so somebody's got to stand up and others have to stay downwards, right? Please, please get out of the guilt. Get out of the guilt. And whatever you've done, learn from it so you become a better being. See, if I kicked a rock with my bare foot and that hurt, that's not stupidity, that's an experience. And now I know how it feels, so I'm not going to kick rocks anymore. Get it? Yes, that's a good thing to wish your husband, your ex-husband, joy, happiness and love. Totally. That's a fine and noble thing to do to everybody. When you talk about seeing 11:11, that's what you're seeing. The 11:11 is Spirit telling you you're on the right path. It's a cosmic yes. It's a wonderful, wonderful sequence to come in contact with. Whatever you're doing in your life, it's a yes. Keep doing it. They're with you, the angels. When you see 21:21, it's prosperity. When you see 3:33 or 33:33, this you must question yourself when you see that. When you see 3:33, you must question it. Because 3:33, you must stop, look and listen. What am I doing? What am I thinking? What are my intentions? Because it could lead you to the 666, which tells you you are putting too much emphasis on the material as the solution to your problems. Or 333 could lead you to the 999, which whatever you're doing is based on helping others. Okay? So when I look at and feel what you wrote, I know you have a very good heart. I know you're a very spiritual person. So when you see 333, it's giving you a sign that you are connected to the whole and not to the individuality. Okay? In other words, you're not an island. You're connected to others. You are going through a rebirth as we speak. When I take 23 December, 23rd of December and 2017, because she's still in 2017, let's see what it gives. We have a 5, we have a 3, and we have a 1. Oh, so here we have a 9. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting, isn't it? You see how the universe works? This makes 9, and the 28th of July 2017 also makes 9. So you both on a 9, which means the mission is accomplished. She's moving into a 1 in December. You're moving into a 1 next month in July. Look, I know it seems you're said and lived. I totally know. But you came to me. I'm telling you the truth. You are going through a rebirth. Andrea is going through a rebirth. At the same time. Look. Just look. It's so clear. Now, a new life is up ahead for you. A new life is up ahead for her. And it is very important for you to know what you want for your new life. When we talk about twin flame, when we talk about soulmates and Look, it does sound good, it does sound wow, but that's human feelings, that's human emotions, not spiritual. What we do have is stronger connection with other souls. What does that mean? It means that you lived more lives with such or such. And there's a stronger connection. You see, my spirit guide, your spirit guide, became your guide because you know each other. You don't just go, okay, you out there, you become my guide. It doesn't work like that. So, twin flame, and I'm the first one to admit that I believed that before, but I really don't believe it anymore. It's just human things. We are soul. We are sovereign souls. We are independent. We're connected to the whole, but we are individually doing our evolution. And yes, using each other along the way. Sometimes I'm a man, sometimes I'm a woman, sometimes I'm a father, sometimes I'm a cousin, sometimes a whatever. And there we go. We come and go. I would strongly suggest that you draw a cross in a sheet of paper. Please, you're entering a new life. So draw a cross. Your 4 major wants. What are your 4 major wants for your new life? What are your 4 major wants for your new life? Now, when I say new life, don't go into the old, oh, I want Drea back. I understand your feelings, but you have to overcome them. She opened the door to something better, more appropriate, whatever you want to call it, in the future. Okay, now let's say you want a meaningful relationship. So you want a meaningful relationship. Let's say you want that. And you want this, and you want this, and you want this. Okay? It is very important that you put it out clear. You don't just say, I want a car. You have to say what kind of car, what kind of year, what kind of price you want to pay. Now the dynamic of the universe, if you are using God, you must learn how to use God. Because God is everything. But everything is not what you want. Why would I want everything? I want just what goes with me. What I want to experience, what I like, what I love. See, when I go into a supermarket that has everything, I don't pick up everything. There's a lot of things I don't like. Get it? Okay. So let's say you want a meaningful relationship. Now, how do you go about it? Again, knowing that you are entering the year 1. A new chapter is about to be written. So what do you want in it? Okay, so let's say you want this, you draw a cross. Now this is the law of attraction. See, no one explains the law of attraction this way. But it is a 4-way. A, B, C, D. It's a 4-way. That's the way I design it. If it works for me, it has to work for you. A is the definition. So, You can't go anywhere. You can't attract anything if you don't define it. So I want to attract a car. I have to design the car. BMW 328i, black on the exterior, blue on the interior, and with mags in such way. 2014 model, and no more than whatever dollar sign. See, I am designing, define. If you want to travel, if you want to do anything, the first thing you need to do is to define where you want to go. You're going to a supermarket, you need to define what you want. So the law of attraction begins with the law of definition. So you need to define. B, do a personality test. You must test your personality, your behavior, your attitude, your being, to see how congruent you are with what you define. So you want this kind of relationship. And you design it, define it, like I want her to be this way. Yes, you can use the memory of Drea to attract someone like that, but with more of this, more of that, and a little bit less of this. Please, do that. Do that. And you walk on sunset, hand in hand, by the ocean, whatever. Define what a meaningful relationship is for you, okay? And then you do a personality check, an attitude check. Okay, so this person enters my life. How am I going to deal with that? Am I ready? Am I going to sabotage it? Get it? So you absolutely must run a personality check. Okay, let's say it's done. So it's done here and it's done here. See, Ho'oponopono. Have you heard of Ho'oponopono? Well, guess what? You define this. You tested it to see if you are congruent with it. And now you are going to do the Ho'oponopono. You see, if you want something, it is because you don't have it. Because if you had it, why would you want it? And if you don't have it, it's because there's some kind of blockage, something blocking it from happening. You don't know what it is, and you don't need to know. The majority of the times, it's in other lives. So you don't know what you've done or not done that is blocking this or blocking that. So when you go into Ho'oponopono, you really go deep in Ho'oponopono. And you visualize the relationship you just designed. And you say, I am so sorry for whatever I've done or not done that created this reality in my reality, which is relationships, which is blocking the right and meaningful relationship to come into my life. I am so deeply sorry. I'm so sorry. To the relationship you just designed. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Because whatever I've done or not done that is blocking you from entering my reality, entering and staying, it is obvious that I didn't know better. But today I do. And for that reason, I ask you for forgiveness. And I love you. Yes, I love you so much that I want you in my reality. I love you. I love you. And thank you. Thank you for being in motion towards me as I speak. Thank you for giving me another chance. Thank you. You do that. And then ask Spirit. Ask Spirit. I always ask Spirit for things. Always. I have a few. Just open one. See, I always ask Spirit. Always. I ask, I place in my wallet, I receive, I burn, and I ask some more. Understand? So whatever it is that you want, whatever it is, do the same thing. Do the same thing. Twin flame, soul sister, soul mate, whatever. One thing is certain. This being, this soul, elevated yours, your soul. And vice versa. And the time is now. And you look up ahead, not behind. Behind is wonderful, but because it taught you. Now you know what works or what doesn't work. But that isn't enough, because you learn how to do things differently, so that which didn't work may work now, and vice versa. Life is here now, my dear. And it is precious, this moment. We're not from here, so we always want to be somewhere else. We will never be satisfied here, because we're not from here. And this is a quite primitive planet of existence. That's why you see what you see. Embrace your rebirth. Embrace your new life. Get rid of guilt. Get rid of guilt. You may say, well, I also fear, or I doubt, or I'm a victim. But what I see most here is guilt. You feel guilty. Please don't. Don't. You're just a player in this game, okay? I'm going to let you go now. Listen, watch as many times as you want. It's out there. And every time you listen, you will get something new. It will come to you, because this message is for you. And I'm going to thank you for sending this, for sharing with us, because you're not the only one watching this video. And trust me, the question one person has, 10 have the same, but didn't have the courage to ask. I send you love, light, and prosperity. And I see you as a great, great being